Well, welcome back to A Minorities Report. This is episode 20. And for this episode, we are in for a treat. We always try to make this platform some more than titles and numbers. It's about stories behind the success and the seasons, the decisions, and the moments people don't always see. Today's guest is someone whose career speaks loudly, but whose perspective speaks even louder. Shayla Gifford has spent over 20 years in the mortgage industry. She's originated more than $1.5 billion, that's with a B, in volume, helped over 6,000 families achieve home ownership, and earned recognition as a top 1% originator and top women originator. So that's your A minority right there.
There we go.
Women, yeah, there you go. She's built and led teams over 100 professionals, founded Catalyst Coaching, and created systems designed not just to scale production, but to support people. She's also a wife and a mother of 2 daughters, and someone who has lived outside the typical American grind, including a season living in Europe. Did I get that right? Okay. That reshaped how she thinks about time, success, and intention. So this conversation isn't just about mortgages. It's about leadership, life design, and building something sustainable. Shayla, I'm really, really glad that you're here, and thank you for your time.
I'm so happy to be here.
Great. Thank you. So I always typically start with the backstory of the guests. So before the recognition and the rankings, what originally pulled you into the mortgage industry? Can you share that too?
Well, I dropped out of college. And in high school, I worked really hard to get straight A's, and I really believed what everybody had said, which is if you get good grades and you go to college and you get your degree and then you work really hard, someday you'll be safe and happy and, married with 2.5 kids and a white picket fence or whatever. And I went down that path. I started really working on excelling and achieving probably at the age of 13. My parents had gotten divorced. My dad was leaving. In my early childhood, I didn't really feel very seen, if that makes sense. I was the first girl. My parents were 21 when they had me. So I kind of, at a young age, felt like I needed to achieve or jump around in order to stand out. Yeah. My brothers came around, and I always felt a little bit like an underdog in my own house. Like I had to work to keep up with these crazies. They were super athletes. They were super smart. They had this incredible amount of energy. And I'm actually naturally more cautious, more thoughtful. I want to be graceful. And they wanted to be like hard charging go-getters, right? And I had young parents like cheering them on. And I'm going, you guys are nuts. But I decided early on that the way I was going to stand out, that I was going to be special and lovable, was that I was going to become exceptional. I was going to be the winner or be the best at whatever I was going to do. So I graduate, with a great 4.0 grade point average, and I go to college, and I'm, like making everybody proud.
Yeah.
But once I get to college, I just felt really impatient. I didn't really feel like I fit in. I just, like I could go to like 1 cake party a week, but not like 4 or 5 cake parties a week, So I was just like, I started reading leadership books when I was 16. I just wanted to get moving in the world, and I wanted to do stuff and create things. And so I drop out of college and I get into network marketing. And I start selling weight loss pills and vitamins and hair care products. And
wow.
And, I'm sure it was quite shocking to
was
my...
it Amway?
It was not Amway, but it might as well. Amway still exists. The company I was with was not.
Okay.
So I think it was probably shocking to everybody in my circle, but I really wanted to bet on myself and just go for it.
Wow. Wow.
And sales was not natural for me. It was very hard for me, but I'm competitive. And so I'm used to being kind of that underdog and used to being needing to compete and work really hard at things. So anyway, I do that for 3 or 4 years. I'm living in the Midwest. I'm living in Chicago and Ohio and Indiana at the time. And I'm broke. I'm living on an air mattress in a 1-bedroom apartment with like 3 or 4 people. I don't know anybody that lives on air mattresses anymore, but I did it for years.
Wow.
I even lived in my office at one point.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So these were like really formative years for me, but that was my college education. It was learning how to speak, learning how to present, learning how to cold call. And I'm in Indiana. I'm 22 years old. I'm wearing a suit every day. And there's a mortgage guy in the same office complex. And he kept saying to me, Shayla, you really got to be in mortgage. Huh. And I'm in a suit and he's in like a cut-off T-shirt. And I'm going, what? But he introduced me to his mentor, Rocky. And he said, Shayla, I'm just telling you, you're dynamic. This woman is dynamic. You remind me of her. You got to meet her. And I said, okay. You know, they always say if you find someone successful, take them to lunch. And he offered to take me to lunch with this successful woman. And so as we're sitting there waiting for Rocky to arrive, he's like, okay, now Shayla, I'm just telling you, you're so much like Rocky. It's uncanny. But don't judge her. She has been married and divorced like 4 times. But she's supported every man she's been with. She's never made less than whatever, $500,000 a year. She's incredible. And I'm like, is this supposed to be a compliment? You know, like, I don't know.
Is that a good thing?
So I didn't know what a professional woman of that caliber would be like. You know, at the time we graduated in 1999, The Devil Wears Prada was a movie that came out. And that was like, yeah. And we just went and saw the Broadway play of this in London. It was incredible.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I did not like the movie because I didn't like the depiction of women that have to be cutthroat and stepping on people and mean in order to get ahead.
Yeah.
But it kind of made you feel like if you were going to be a woman and compete in a man's world and work your way up to the top, then that's who you had to be. And I'm afraid that I would have been that a little bit because I'm so competitive that it was like, if this is what it takes to get there. And so when I was sitting there waiting for Rocky, and I'm thinking, okay, what is this woman even going to be like? She pulls up in a minivan wearing jeans and a leather jacket. And I'm like, I'm in. I'm in. She was real. She was transparent. She was approachable. She was balancing a career at a really high level and having a family. And I thought, okay, I don't really know anything about mortgage, but obviously you can be as successful as you want to be and be a woman and have a family. Like, I want in.
Wow.
And so that's what got me into the business at 23 years old.
Crazy. I didn't know that.
You didn't know this?
that part. Wow.
Yeah.
So being a woman, is that really a big disadvantage?
I think women have such an advantage in sales, honestly. Okay. And that's kind of what I was taught is like, you know, a man to a man has to be delicate at times, right? Because men can be confrontational. You can say things and there's an alpha, you know, all that stuff. I think a woman can come in and be direct and soft, can be flirty and playful, but mean business. And there's this dynamic energy that women can have, you know, that they can go to a man and say, yo, like you said you were going to do this, or you're wimping out on me, step up to the plate. And a man might go, whoa, but they're not going to sock her in the face. You know?
Hopefully not. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think obviously beauty and brains help, right?
Yes,
so
yes,
I think women have a really incredible opportunity in sales, but sales is a career that rewards performance and it rewards results. And what I love still about the mortgage business, about the real estate industry, is about entrepreneurism, is it does not matter what your resume says, or if you have degrees, or what grade point average you have. None of that matters. It matters, can you solve people's problems? Can you perform and show up every day? Can you do the right thing? And you can be limitless. You can literally go create whatever life you would want to create. So I don't know the stats of how many men versus women. I honestly don't pay attention to that because I've had brothers and I don't even notice. I'll be in a room full of men and I don't even notice because I'm like one of the guys.
I agree.
You know that.
I've seen you in action. Yeah. No, that's true. Actually, the last class that you did, yeah.
I'm comfortable in that way. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I think we're gonna, it is challenging, I think, to be a mom and to operate at a high level in business and to not feel a lot of guilt. At least that's my story, and I'm shattering that limiting belief. But it's been tricky, to feel shame at times, to say, I was kind of half-assing it for a long time as a mom, like just barely surviving, and my focus was really on my career.
It's difficult, right?
It's difficult.
That's why not everybody's successful in whatever aspect of life they're trying to achieve. It's really not that easy because I don't know if you'll agree to this, but there's no such thing as a balanced life, right?
No. I've been thinking a lot about this idea of hyper-focus, and
that's you, hyper, and you're focused.
I'm hyper and I'm focused. But it's, listen, you got really involved with your church and became a pastor. And prior to that, you were Rookie of the Year and top producer and winning all these awards and like selling bazillions of dollars of real estate. And then you got way into your church and that was like your purpose. And you did it with the same level of enthusiasm, gusto, and mind, body, and soul, the whole thing, right? And then you started weaving them back in together and finding a little bit. And I don't know if I call that balance, but maybe harmony, maybe.
I like that word.
Yeah, being a little bit more multidimensional. But I think to become exceptional at something, it does require hyper-focus at times, or to like pull ourselves out of a rut, whether it's our marriage that's in a rut, or our kids' relationships in a rut, or our health has been too far neglected. Sometimes you got to just hyper-focus on that one thing to get it right or to become an expert, and then you can weave the other stuff back in.
You gave me that book about one thing.
Oh, remember? Yes.
You gave me that, your very first, I want to say that was your very first round of, what do you call them? Was Jack Cote was there?
Yeah.
I was there.
Yes.
Mauricia was there, like top producers.
All of you.
Yeah. Right,
I think we called it a mastermind.
Yes, the mastermind class.
Yeah.
And you had it in your office.
Yeah.
And you gave all of us that book, One Thing.
What was your one thing at the time?
Gosh, that one thing was just to produce. And I think I was dealing with, my team kind of broke up that season.
Yep.
So I was dealing with that mental rut. I'm like, I'm so mad about the breakup that I couldn't move forward with my operations.
Yeah.
And then you were talking about 4 legs in the operation: your marketing, your operating, your customer appreciation, and then there was 4. I think there was 4 legs of the chair. But I remember. But there is really no balance. You can either, if it's the kids' performance or play, you have to be there 100%. But for somebody who's been in the business, you're just like twiddling your fingers. You're like, I got a call I'm waiting on. It's a short sale. There's a crash if I don't get the paperwork. And then my son's like waving at me. I'm just like, but I'm waiting for my phone to ring,
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, well, the early season when you were starting out, what did you think of this career? What did you think it was going to look like, and how did reality challenge that picture? So you saw Rocky, you said, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
But then what did you picture it to be like?
Well, something interesting did happen when I met Rocky. This was in Indianapolis, and she said, you know what, Shayla, I'd hire you tomorrow, but you'd have to cover the states of Wisconsin and Indiana. And I said, that's super, but I'm on a countdown to go back to Reno, to go to my hometown. And so if I'm going to pursue this, I'm going to just have to figure out how to pursue it back home. But I've been living here in the Midwest. It's time for me to go home. And she said, well, I'll recommend you to my counterpart out there. She worked at Wells Fargo at the time, and she was on the wholesale side of the business. And I knew nothing about nothing. But she said, I don't know if this guy, if you'll be able to win him over. He's just a little different. And I'm like, like, what do you mean? Like, I've been making cold calls out of the white pages, and I'm selling vitamins. Like, I could do this. And
wow.
So I called him, and of course he said, no, I don't hire people with no experience, and certainly no retail experience. And that's all I needed to hear, and it just totally pissed me off in the best of ways, because I was like, well, I'm going to make it his worst mistake. Either he's going to see that I'm that good and hire me, or he's going to regret it forever because I'm that good and he didn't hire me.
It's like Michael Jordan not being drafted.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's like the things that happen to us, like how do we turn that into fuel, and how do we turn it into positive fuel? And just like your team breaking up, and you go through heartbreak and you go through all the range of emotions, how do then we direct that energy, because it is energy, into, the next path and the next season forward that we want to go in. So anyway, I had no clue what this was. I mean, I had no great mentors or managers for the first 6 years in the business. Right. But I had gotten fantastic sales training. I actually like statistics and calculus and spreadsheets. So I've always said, if you give me a calculator, I get turned on. So, I kind of could pick it up quickly, like I loved solving problems. And I think that, the reason this industry still captured me so much 22 years later is because it takes every fiber of my being, right? Like, every client you get still has a totally unique story, unique set of problems. And it's mentally and emotionally challenging because there's a story, there's a family, there's deadlines, there's pressure, there's creativity. You've got so many people involved, and you're trying to get everybody in alignment and get to the finish line. So I loved that challenge, that part of it. At the time when I started, you'll have to remember too, because we both go back this far, but I didn't really feel much competitive pressure with other competitors, if that makes any sense. I mean, this was a time where there was no Google, there was no social media, none of that. So it was...
I never thought about that, but yeah, you're right.
Find a client, and pretty much anybody who could breathe or fog a mirror could get pre-approved.
Are you alive?
Yeah, and then they could go find a house. So 2004, 5, 6, those years were cool years. You would go out in the world, meet people, talk about their dreams and goals, turn a bartender into a client, and help them buy a house.
Right.
Today it's much more complex, and I coach people on this complexity, and it's tricky. It could be very, very overwhelming, feeling like you've got to be a pro in so many things in today's environment. Yeah. But back then, it was meet a client, discover what their needs are, propose a solution, and giddy up, as long as the timing was right. I think for every 5 clients that you would dig up, find, attract, cold call, whatever, you'd probably close 3 of them.
Yeah.
Or today, you've got to work a lot harder to find the 10 to then close 1,
Yeah, you're right, because between the 10 that you've spoken with, 9 of them have bad credit that you're trying to help, trying to still convince that buying is the way to go, not renting. Yeah, and then 1 will convert. Yeah, it is a lot more challenging. The pressure of social media is very much, I think, is very prevalent. It's just in your face, where people, if you're not doing anything there, it seems like you're out. You're not in the business, because everybody's just glued on their phones.
Yeah.
And it's just another thing for us in the industry to do.
It's another job.
Yeah, it's just I don't like, I really don't like it. But I'm in there because I don't want people thinking I'm not alive, or I'm just doing church,
Right. I know it's
yeah.
it's a necessary evil at times to be like, I'm in the game, I'm relevant, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's interesting. We're putting on a 1-day workshop for loan officers in April, and it's all on marketing. And the premise of the event was, first of all, I wanted a fun team culture building thing to do. It's like my favorite stuff. So we're doing it in Nashville.
Wow.
And we're gathering 150 people, and then we'll go out and on Friday night and we'll go along Broadway and we'll dance to country music and all that. Like, that's what I'm really most excited about. But
I like it.
The premise of the workshop is that the two reasons that people get stuck or stopped is because of fear and overwhelm. And fear, I think, is something that we can really work on. We could work on the books we read, the podcasts we listen to, mantras that we're saying, journaling, positive affirmations, just calling a friend. I mean, you called me before, I've called you before, like, hey, I'm down in the dumps. Like, I'm feeling pessimistic. Like,
give me a buyer. Or get me out
help.
of this help. What is this? Yeah.
So, and sometimes it's just talking to yourself, like, just make the call. Just go introduce yourself. Just, that's how fear can be played with, is like, just do it. Just take a step.
Why does it get heavy, Shay?
The fear?
You've been studying this. You've been talking about it. Why does it get so heavy? Like, it is a mental block. It's not physical, but it just cripples a person.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking from experience.
I think, I think a lot about confidence and self-worth. And, I think my personal journey has been around those two things. It's honestly, I think from the earliest age, I formed a belief as a child that I was a disappointment.
Really?
Yes. Now, we form beliefs and stories in our head all day long. We are human beings. We're like telling ourselves story. The same thing could happen to two different people, and they have two completely different stories about it. But for whatever reason, I have, at a fundamental level, totally unconscious, it's taken a lot of deep work to figure this out, have believed I am a disappointment. So then, therefore, I'm not good enough, I'm not enough, or whatever the case is. So what am I going to do to overcome that? Like, what do I have to be? What kind of chameleon? What kind of production? What kind of value add? And that is a hamster wheel that I run on forever of like, so what that I was good yesterday? What do I got to do today to be worthy of belonging or love or, business or whatever the case might be? And so I think, working on that worthiness piece and just starting to really reclaim worthiness, to say I'm inherently worthy just because of who I am. And we could go down the God path, and you could help me right now and speak to me. I'm like, what would God say to me? That Shayla,
Right.
You're a delight.
Right.
You're worthy. I want you just as you are. You're perfect in my making. Like, this is maybe what I need every human being to say to me, but they're not going to say it. So I need to connect with God to feel that way. But, when I start operating from a place of worthiness, that I am worthy, I'm deserved, not only just because of who I am, but also because of what I'm willing to perform. Like, I'm worthy because I'm going to keep showing. It's like my character, right?
Yeah.
So like anytime I'm second guessing myself, I have to go back and be my own cheerleader and be that inner coach that is like, well, tell me about your character. I will stop at nothing to help you be successful. Like, I will run through walls. I will blow stuff up. I will do that. Like, that's my character. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You
go through walls.
I'm a hardworking achiever that will stop at nothing. Right.
Yeah,
and I have to believe that about myself to then get over fear, because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I got to put myself out there. If it's what Joe needs right now, great. If it's not, great. But like, he's not rejecting me. He might be rejecting the thing I offered, which is the appointment time or the product I'm talking about or the event I'm inviting you to. How do I separate the thing from me? So that you're not rejecting me, you're rejecting an offer that I'm making you. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
But if my fundamental belief is I'm annoying, I'm different, something is wrong with me, I'm not good enough, which is, by the way, just pick one. And most all of us have one of those 5 probably.
Correct. Depends on what time of the day.
Then we're like, I don't exactly know what to say. So we're not trusting ourselves. Our confidence is low because maybe we haven't practiced that skill. Maybe we're living in our head and we haven't just sat down and said, what does Joe care about? What matters to Joe? What are Joe's goals right now? What might be of value to him? Even if it's just making him smile. And that's the value that I brought to him today.
Right.
And then why am I worthy? Like my character, who I am at my core, at my solid of like what I believe, who I am, how I show up. I'm worthy of this.
Correct.
And if they say no, it's like seriously the thing.
So you did the service.
Yeah. So when I'm stuck, I just go into coaching myself like that.
Yeah. I've been studying about that. It's like self-talk really is like half the battle.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to do it every day.
Yeah.
And if you don't start being in the real estate industry, I'll wake up in the morning and there's some things that I need from the deal that's about to close 3 days from now. And so I'm brushing my teeth at 6:00 in the morning. I'm like thinking about this and I'm already exhausted at 6:30. Because I'm like, when is Shayla gonna call me? It's like 6:30. I texted her 3 times already. What the heck?
I had that kind of morning.
Right?
No, I know exactly what you're saying because I had that kind of a morning today. And by like 10:30, I'm like, the anxiety that is rippling through my body is exhausting me. And it's 10:30 and I still have like, I don't know, 6 meetings going down. And I literally was like, how do I catch this so that the physiology changes? Because it's amazing how your thoughts do trigger feelings. Feelings trigger all of our nervous system response, all of our hormonal response. So are we pumping cortisol, which is stress? Are we pumping adrenaline because we're freaked out and scared? Like, what cocktail are we creating within us?
Correct.
Because of what we believed, right?
Correct.
And so anyway, that's where like little mantras of like, it's all going to be okay. Everything always works out.
Yeah.
There's enough. I have to do the enough stuff a lot. There's enough time. We're enough. This is enough. You know what I mean?
I remember we had a phone call. Well, we had many conversations, but one conversation you had a line there where you said, I have to learn, Joe, that it's okay for me to step back.
Yeah.
Because if I try to answer everybody's phone call, I'm never going to finish anything. And this is when
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to like bug you, like, hey, Shay, did you get that approved? Come on, what's going on? Right? Because you do need to step away and you just can't answer all the calls. You got to attend to them. But you have to trust that you're doing something right. And part of the talk, as you were saying it, for me is like, what helps me is I tell myself, you've done this in the past. Mm-hmm. You've gone through this.
Yes.
And you just need to wait. You gotta let the rates drop.
Yeah.
It's not you, it's the rates.
Yes. Yes, we've been here before.
We've been here before. Yeah, that's the line. Yeah, we've been here before. I just need to wait.
This is so cool. I was just coaching 3 women before getting to Gwen's volleyball thing and then back to you. But I was talking to them and I said, what if you walked in every day into this office with true CEO energy? Like the confident, capable, beautiful woman that you are with 27 years of experience that is kind of impervious, right?
Yeah,
Which is like, oh, the contract's not in. Yeah, that's happened before. It'll happen again.
Correct.
Like, oh, something's going awry. There's bumps in the road. That's okay. Like it's not like getting flown off course by the littlest things, but actually going, no, yeah, I've been doing this for 20 years. I know what I'm doing. This will all work out. And having that sense of grounding so that you're not flappable all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's focusing on the good things, right?
Yes, that too.
The positive things, like, why am I worried, right? I've had these deals before where But I think it's because of our upbringing or how we trained ourselves to where, oh, there's something wrong. So we're just, you have a party and you invite 20 people, and then the person that you're looking for is the one that's not there.
Yeah, I know.
19 came, and the 20th guy, like, where's Joe? Where's Shayla?
And now, and my feelings are so hurt, and I'm so offended.
Correct.
And I cannot focus on the 19 because the one that is breaking my heart that's not here is like, there's 19 right here.
Right. Yeah. Well,
I want to say one other thing about self-confidence, because I think confidence comes from capability and confidence comes from self-trust. And you could add self-love, self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, like all of those are kind of in that bucket. Capability only comes by getting in the ring and on the field. Period. So most people want, this fear happens and like, gosh, I wish I was more confident. You don't get confidence until you do the thing over and over and over and over and over again.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And you go through all the stages of failure and disappointment and rejection and winning, and you gain all this perspective and experience. And then you go, oh yeah, I'm capable. I got this. Like, I've been here before. I know this is going to work out. If something goes wrong, I can apologize. I can take ownership. I can do all these things. That's part of the self-trust. Like, if I'm going to get into a sticky situation, I could speak from my heart and I can deal with conflict. It's all of those things. But capability is really one that I don't think today people think about it a lot, is like, what are you gaining mastery in? Because if you're going to do something, take something on to mastery and then take the next thing on to mastery. For a simple thing is like communication. Like, read 5 books on communication. Like, really, really, really think about it. Eye contact, listening, asking great questions, tempo, timing, personalities, the whole thing. Because, like, is there anything maybe more important than communication, for example, in our love lives and our home lives and our work lives or whatever? Like, pick a thing that you're like so bought into mastering, and then just master that thing.
Right.
And then you will feel highly capable.
Yeah. And then mastery, when you say it, is there's dedication, there's sacrifice you're going to be doing. You got to repeat, rinse and repeat, and you recognize the errors and just don't do it again, and different approach, right? So yeah, I agree.
And there's
hard work there.
Yeah, it's hard work. But there's a reward for the hard work. I think it's like when you're clear about what it's for and why, then there's like joy in the hard work. It's similar to, I think, what people feel in the gym. Like if it's like, I'm going to get to that bench press, or I'm going to get to that, mile time, or whatever the case is, it's like the suffering, the hard work is getting you somewhere, and you see progress.
Yeah.
And when you can see progress, humans love feeling progress, but you don't get progress if you're stuck over here in fear. And then the other side is overwhelm. And speaking of this Nashville event and marketing, that's where I'm really trying to help people. Like, the fear I work on constantly, because that shows up every day. Like, over the dumbest stuff. Like, that's survival. That's our old reptilian brain that is coming up, and it's habitual to worry, and it's habitual to dance with fear. It's like we have these 2 little characters, I don't think it's the devil and the angel. I have like this inner critic, and her name is Pat, and she is rough and mean, and she is whipping me every day saying, work harder, Shayla, and she's like, but she's fearful of the fact that maybe you are a disappointment. Maybe you are going to be found out. Maybe you aren't as good as people think you are. Maybe, whatever. It's all this crap storyline that like is dirty fuel.
Yeah.
And that little mind does not ever go away. You get better at recognizing it and better at like flipping it around, but fear's a dance. Overwhelm, I think, is super important. And there's frameworks for how to get out of overwhelm, because when we say I'm overwhelmed, our brain literally shuts off. Like you got to go outside, take a walk, like completely walk away. Because in overwhelm, there's all creativity is lost. Your prefrontal cortex is lost. You're just frozen. And I think in the hyper moving economy and world that we're in today, it's really easy to feel overwhelmed, especially if you're in business and you're like, okay. So within marketing, there's text, email, SEO, social, paid advertising. Am I on YouTube? Look at your podcast, how many different platforms it's on.
Correct.
Am I video editing? Who do I find? What's the trend? What's trending? How long is it? It's like, you could just be stuck in this forever, let alone what is my brand? What are my colors? What is my brand voice? What's my identity? I mean, are you kidding me? It's just...
You're doing a great job, though.
No, telling you all the overwhelm.
No, everything that you're talking about, it's part of how you've created the Shayla now, right? Because you went from, I'll move forward from that. So you went from mortgage Shayla to leadership. Mm-hmm. So what brought you to shift that from building teams, and then now you're mentoring others?
Well, I was a sole practitioner for 10 years in sales. And the motto is the harder you work, the luckier you get. If it's going to be, it's up to me. Mm-hmm. And don't let anybody else screw up my stuff. Be a control freak.
Basically, that's me.
And there will come a time where you hit capacity. And I hit it. And I don't like feeling limited. And I did. There was about a year and a half, 2 years, and I was working an embarrassing amount of hours. Fortunately, my fiance's lived in Tahoe. I'm in Reno, so he didn't really see. Galen never really saw like what it looked like, the real Shayla, like how much Shayla was really working. Because I'm a performer, and I could be all like fun on the weekends, but he didn't see the real worker Shayla. At least I didn't think, And I think that was a little bit of a fear too when I got married. My parents had been big workers, and then they had gotten divorced. And I saw myself really, because I'm so, my self-worth was tied to my achievements. I put everything I had, everything into finding success, because that is what made me feel like literally worthy and safe, right? Is like, if you don't succeed today, then you're worthless. And then who wants you? You know what I mean? This is again unconscious. I'm not telling myself that in the car. But
it's subconscious, right?
But I think in life you hit these limits, and you hit failure, and they're the greatest doorway to the next journey. And for me, hitting a plateau where I could not do anymore. I couldn't work any more hours. I couldn't optimize or be efficient or whatever. It was just one human being can only do so much, that I had to say, okay, well, what would it look like if I started trusting other people? What would I trust them with? And how would I start training them? And how would I get them to do it as close to how I would do it, so that I can have some peace and we could scale and we could break through this limitation? And like I said, that happened after 10 years of being in sales. And the impetus for that is I had to go see other people more successful than me, or that had it better than me, or that had figured it out. And then I got competitive. So that's always a code for me. Like if I'm really lost in something, I need to get inspired, but I need to get inspired by seeing it. I have to see it with my own eyes thing. And in May of 2010, I went to my first coaching conference. And
San Diego. You went to
San
Diego?
Was it San Diego? The first one I think was Phoenix. And then, I went every 6 months for the next 8 years, 10 years or something like that. And when I broke out of my little bubble of little Reno, West Reno, and I went to a bigger environment, I was like, oh, there's a way different game to be played than the game I'm playing. And these people all supposedly have the same job title that I have and offer the same services I offer, but they're operating on a whole different frequency, different beliefs, different mindset. and maybe, just maybe, offering a better service to their customers than I am, trying to be the hero and do all things and do it all by myself. And, you know, that just pissed me off. And so I said, well, I got to compete. It's not, now that I know, you can't unknow. So now that I know that I could be doing double the production and providing a more systematic, less chaotic, less reactive experience, and hopefully having a little more balance so that I can stay married and build a family and do the things that I started this business to do. That's what got me into leadership. And so
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's good.
Started learning like who to hire, when to hire, what to do with them, how to onboard them, how to, give feedback, how to hire, fire, lay off, how to have my heart broken when people quit me.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, leadership is a very vulnerable and
it's a different game.
It's a different game. Yeah.
Under the umbrella of mortgage industry.
Yeah.
So, what's something people misunderstand or romanticize about leadership in your industry?
I think a lot of people, when they think about like hiring onto their team, where they go wrong is that they just need someone, first of all. Like they wait so long to where they're desperate. They're so busy. They're now so burned out. They've worked 12 weekends in a row. And so they're like, I just have to have somebody. And it's almost like they have beer goggles now. Like anybody would be good. Okay. So that's the first.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. You're good. Let's go.
First issue. Second is hiring people to try to save them. So this is where people hire their friends, they hire their family members, they put their kid to work. And so it's not the right person for the right seat on the bus in the business.
Right.
And then also I just think sometimes it's maybe a selfish or self-serving. I think leadership is a servant position. It's to serve the people that give you their loyalty and their trust. And it's
biblical, Shay.
Oh, thank you. It's an opportunity and it's also an obligation and a responsibility. And it's something to be taken very seriously. And I always tell people when I'm hiring, number one, the first rule is I've got to really, really, really like you. Not really, but really, really, really like you. Because I will spend more time with you than I spend with my spouse or my kids. And I want to really like the people I work with. Number two, you're a human and you're going to make mistakes. You're going to cost me money and you're going to make me look bad. And if I really, really, really like you, we will go through those hard, challenging times together. And we will learn, we will focus, we will support each other. And the third thing is when your life falls apart or gets a detour or you get sick, because I really, really, really like you and care about you, I will be there for you. You know?
It's amazing.
And so if you hire people that are just the wrong people and then they make that mistake, you freak out. You know, it's like cut off their head. One mistake, you're out.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Or I don't trust you at all, and so I'm really not giving you empowerment and a job to do, which then means you're ineffective anyways, right? So and then hiring people that are suited for the work that you're doing, you know? So for people who are helping convert clients and they're in kind of a sales role, I'm looking for smart, charming, and competitive. And I'm looking for people that align with my core values. You know, they're committed, they're loving, they want growth and freedom. They care about excellence, like giving it their all every single time, and they're courageous. Courageous is my favorite quality because we have to be courageous to face the fear monster every day.
Right.
And to play big in our lives and to chase our dreams and like do the uncomfortable thing, you know?
Yeah. Because courage is moving forward despite the presence of fear, right?
Yes.
Like, oh, shucks, this is daunting, but oh well, move forward.
Did you
fail forward?
Did you see my Instagram video this weekend?
Which one?
Oh my gosh. I had 7.
The one that you were dancing. That
yes,
was
in the grocery store.
You lost the bet, you said. Yeah, that one? Okay, I saw
So
it.
I had 7 12-year-olds at our Tahoe house for a sleepover, and they converted our master bedroom into this party room, and they decorated like crazy. And of course, we had balloons stuffed with stuff everywhere. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be such a nightmare to clean up. And they all play volleyball together. And so the night before, we did a bake-off. And there was team 1, team 2, and they're like doing volleyball cheers as they're baking cakes. It was so great. And then Galen was the judge, and he rated the cakes on taste, and I rated them on appearance. And then they got points for how cleanly their side of the kitchen was. So they were already in this mode of like, give us a challenge. And so I said, okay, if you can fully clean, all your stuff is packed, everything's put away, everything's clean, decorations are down, in 15 minutes or less, then you guys win. And they're like, well, what do we win? Well, what do you lose if you lose? And this is what we came up with. It was you had to dance by yourself in the grocery store, in the public place for a minute straight.
Oh, yeah, you were just doing it. That's why I saw it.
So that takes courage.
Wow. Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
Wow, that's a bet.
It was a bet, but it was so fun. And like, that's where life, I think, is like, that's where you taste the zest, of life, is like when there was that courage, because you get this sense of like adrenaline and presence and, walking up to that person at church and saying, hey, I've always wanted to meet you. That takes courage. But then look at the reward you get on the other side of courage.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. That's amazing. So, okay, from there, you moved to coaching and you founded Catalyst. So you founded it, and that wasn't accidental, right? So
No.
What gap did you see in the industry that made you say, I just don't want to coach production. I want to coach people?
Yeah. Thank you. Coaching is transformative for me. I'm somebody that needs a little guidance and spin me up and I'll run really fast. But a coach really helps keep you on the road, right? Because otherwise, I'm like everyone else. I can get stuck in these limiting beliefs and stories. I can compare myself to other people. I can come up with my own wacky ideas. And so I really love meeting coaches who have been where I want to be and could say, this is the step. I want a shortcut. I don't, I'm an old soul. I do not need to run and jump in that puddle. If you tell me the puddle is about 1.2 miles ahead and to change my course by 10 degrees, I'm saying, thank you, man. And I'm just doing it.
Right.
So I have really benefited from models and frameworks that coaches have given me, and then have helped me clarify my vision. What is it that I really, really want? Then create a simple plan, and then give me tools that allow me to track to that plan, be held accountable to that plan, and then also compare and learn from other people that have done the plan or on the plan, right? So I think the third is like working and tracking the plan. And then the fourth is like just skill building, like, because as you talked about, every new ceiling that I've hit or roadblock that I've had has required me to become more capable in a skill that I don't have, right? And it's uncomfortable. And insecurity pops up, and all the worthiness stuff is right there again with a new skill.
But you like it. You're like, oh.
I mean, it's a lot. It is a lot. So I'm naturally somebody who wants to teach. And, is the first time you ever met, you said, Shayla, you were speaking, you were teaching a class.
Yeah, you were.
The funny thing is, I was probably like 7 or 8 years into the business before, or into sales, that I ever did that. In fact, I think that night that you saw me speak at Chase International, that was probably the first class I'd ever taught.
Really?
And I don't know why, but I think I was waiting till I had a level of mastery or something like that. And then maybe it never occurred to me to do that. Somebody invited me to do it, and I just answered the call. And then once I realized, I'm like, I love teaching, and I'm just a normal chick. And if I learned how to do this, and this is the transformation I had, I wanted to turn around and teach other people how to have the same growth or transformation. So Anyway, once I hired a coach and started paying money for coaching, which I never thought I would do because I'm cheap. And I'm like, I'm self-motivated. I'm disciplined. I could do this. But once I put my credit card and I put my money where my mouth is and said, okay, I want to be guided. I have run out of answers on my own. It's kind of like that moment of surrender. Like, God, okay, fine. I'm on my knees. Like, let's go. Guide me.
Wow.
Yeah. Then everything changed because it was my identity shifted to like, I'm paying money to be guided and coached to be a business person and to be a leader.
And you were already a top producer. I mean, I don't want people to think that happened because you were like hurting. You were already like killing it, but then you just said,
yeah, but I think everybody knows, like, this is what's so funny about the whole thing. Like, man, you're killing it. Everyone knows where they're in a rut. And they're just spinning their wheels in the same rut. And compared to the average, average Joe, anybody gets it. You're killing it. I'm like, compared to who? Compared to what? Compared to my God-given potential and my gifts? Compared to what I know is possible? Compared to what I've seen? Compared to my vision and my dreams? No, I'm not. I'm way off course. I'm a major roller coaster. I'm high highs, low lows. I'm freaking out. You don't know what's going on internally, you know?
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
So I think that's where... I think that's where we have to be courageous and say, like, yes, I'm grateful. Like I was making $300,000 a year, Joe, at 26 as a college dropout. My parents were in construction. My dad hung drywall since the time he was 19. Like, I was earning more than a CPA or a doctor or an attorney or a lawyer on almost all of my loan applications. And, I didn't really feel worthy of that except that I busted my butt and worked really hard. But yet I still knew that what I was doing was limited. Like I was hitting my own wall. But wow. But I knew I could help more people. I knew I could do something. I just had no idea where to go. Like, what would be the next 5 steps to improve?
To bring me there.
Right. Yeah. Like what do I do? So again, when I went to a coaching conference and I probably walked in with a big ego, like, I am top dog in my little town and top dog in my little company and whatever. Like, I'm good. I know I'm good. I work my butt off. And then you walk in a room and you're like, oh, okay, there's another level in here. This is kind of refreshing. This is exciting.
Wow. You went to the major leagues and you said,
yeah.
You're like, wait
so
a minute.
I first hired a coach, then pretty quickly was like, well, let me coach others. And so I started coaching Jorge, who was with me at Guild and been with me for the last 16 years. And I said, you don't have to pay the $2,000 a month. I'll just coach you on what I'm being coached. Like, I'll get off my call and then I'll turn around and coach you. And he's like, sweet. And so then I started doing that. And then I started coaching another 2 or 3 loan officers. And then what happened is we all just bought into a system. Mm-hmm. We all bought into these frameworks of, this is how we generate business. This is how we process each step of the process in the business so that it's repeatable, it's consistent, it's reliable. And this is how we grow a team. This is who we hire first. This is who we hire second. These are characteristics of the people on the team. This is how we're going to train them. And so just like what I'd wanted a proven framework. I couldn't have articulated this. What I wanted was to grow. I wanted to win. And I felt stuck and frustrated. And other people could say, oh, but you're killing it. I'm like, yeah, but there's more for me. I know that I'm underutilized. And
Golly.
What I got was, here's your playbook. Here's the playbook. And I said, oh, thank you. Give me the answers. I'll stand up and jump up and down and pat my head if you tell me to do that. Like, I'm done exhausting myself with my own creativity. I want to be led.
But what's the driver there, Shay? Like, what was driving you to push yourself to another level? Because, okay, I get it. Okay, this is my level. I'm already here, but
yeah,
kind of bored. It sounds like
probably. I mean, I think we're either driven by fear or greed. So, fear mostly for me. I used to say, if you call me greedy or lazy, I will go apeshit. And I've now found that I'm both very greedy and very lazy in certain areas about certain things, right? And so I'm embracing all parts of me. This is the self-worth.
I love it.
But the fear driver, this is not enough. You're not enough. If there's more to get, you don't want to work forever. I mean, I started focusing on retirement at like 23. I wanted to like be done. I've wanted safety, wanted security, and wanted stability. So like, I had a coach set up and say, okay, well, you need to figure out how much money you need to retire. And I'm doing this workshop at like 28. I'm like, okay, good. Yes, I need to know that. I need to know every disastrous thing that could happen in my life and how much money I need so that I am safe because I want stability. And that's all fear oriented, right?
Yeah.
And so the other side, the greed side is, this is when I overfunction. It's either coming from insecurity or it's coming from like, well, it's like being the fat kid at the buffet. You're like, well, there's all this food. I can't let the food go. I got to have a fourth plate.
Right. I paid $80 for this, so I have to make it count.
Well, and it's, if 3 appointments are good, 6 is better. And if that worked once, then I'll do it 5 times more. And it's kind of this, it's desire out of control, So I think that I do have a lot of desire in me. I've just always had this spark, this energy. I have desire to experience life to the fullest. This is like, we're here. Let's live. Let's freaking go.
It's amazing. This is why every time I talk to Shayla, like I want to go through a wall too. Like every time, it's just like this energy that you can do anything. If it's just, I feel like I want to hit a home run right now.
I'm really, really bought into it, and it's been my life experience, Joe. Like I sucked at sales at first. I mean, I ran for student body president in McQueen High School. And lost.
This guy's McQueen too.
Hey, and I lost. And then I ran for senior class president. I lost. And why? Because I was not very likable. I was not into making friends or social. No, I was so driven. It was like, if you're in my path and we can do stuff together that's productive, great. If you're not, I don't care about you. Like, bye.
Next.
Yeah. So when you get into sales is about people liking you and trusting you. I didn't have the likability factor.
I'm the same way.
You're the same? Yeah, right. You're super likable. No. Super likable. Okay, I have a question for you. In high school, did you want to be liked, feared, or respected? And in which order?
I wanted to be feared.
Really?
Respected, then liked.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you... I love this so much. So how did you, or why did you want to be feared? What was that, like a power, a sense of safety? What was that?
I think it's more of, since you said it, it's more of safety.
Because if people feared you, they'd leave you alone?
Correct. I dealt with bullies when I was younger, and the world that I grew up in the Philippines, it was pretty much that, like,
really?
The Fight Club movie?
Yeah.
That felt like my high school, my elementary and high school.
So did you have to be this intimidating character? Like you have to be like, you're going to fear me, and you had to wear that.
Correct. You'll see it in my pictures, my younger pictures. I never smiled.
Wow.
Because I wanted to convey, like, I'm mean.
Yeah. Oh, you can get mean eyes. I like that.
I'm mean.
Next time you call me and you're like, I'm just afraid to make calls, Shayla, I'm going to be like, get those mean eyes out.
Get the mean eyes, yeah. But yeah, it was like that. And I know I wasn't likable because, you would invite people for your birthday and everybody would show up.
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
It's a killer when you were younger. So
and then we get into sales where we're literally put out to be rejected constantly.
Correct. You're begging. That was the fear. Like, what the heck? Am I begging? I even like this guy. Why am I calling this guy? I know he's just going to reject me. And then they reject me. I freaking knew it. I should have never called him. Why did I put myself in this position? It's just all of that.
So that's the deep work you get to work on. Like mine is I'm a disappointment. Yours is like nobody likes me or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it does. It's amazing how that kind of rules our life going forward. So that's super interesting. Okay, I have another question for you. Are you a get it done, get it right, or get along person?
Get it done.
Me too.
I'm older. I'm older now. You know, when I was younger, I'm like, get along. You know, it doesn't matter if this doesn't work out, so long as we're cool. But at the end of the day, now I'm older. We better get this done, or else we're not talking. Right?
Well, I have always been a get it done person. No hiding that one.
But I know I was pushy when you were still in when you were still operating as a mortgage officer.
Did you think you were pushy to me?
I know I was pushy, but you were always. This is why we connected so well. You were welcoming it.
Yeah, bring it on. Let's go.
Like, who cares? And you're just gonna talk to me like, "Hey, Joe, got it. I know it's like 3:00, but we just can't get the answer right now. But tomorrow, I promise."
Yeah.
And one thing, Mikey, you were pushing out Gemma, I think.
Probably, yes.
We had a deal
And
that
answering
needed
the phone
to
with
close.
Joe.
And she picked up the call, and I'm like, Shay, and she's like, I'm in labor right now, but yeah, let's talk. You're calling about, and then she mentions the last name of our deal. I go, yeah, we're going to get it done. Don't worry. Once I'm done here, I'm going to send this. I'm drafting this email right now. And I'm like, I hung up the phone like, that girl is a dynamo.
Yes, that's awesome. I can't wait to tell Jim that.
But I did the same thing. Anna was, pushing Alonzo out, and this was fax time when we needed fax. There was no e-signatures, right?
Yes.
So I went in there. My wife was in labor, and my question with the nurse was, "Can I use your fax because I need to send something out?" And like, sure. And I'm like, "Can I work here while?"
Yeah.
They're like looking at me weird, like, "Yeah, sure."
It's amazing.
But yeah, it was.
So I think in knowing you, remember how I said I work well with guys too, because you can bring your intensity, all of it.
Yeah.
And I can handle it.
Yeah.
And I like intensity. Because that's like a zest. That's like, we're alive. Let's do so. Like, what drives me nuts is the opposite of intensity, which is apathy. Like you go to the airport and people are like literally like, and I'm like, in my head, I'm judging and criticizing everyone. Worthless. Let's go. Come on, wake up.
What's going on here? Yeah. Chop, move.
Yeah. So then now I have to go, okay, what does that say about me? If you spot it, you got it. What am I judging? This whole thing.
But I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Ever since I start focusing on working out.
Yeah.
And then I start judging people that are
of
like,
course. What are you doing
some
here?
leg day, man. Give me some leg day. You start judging.
But I'll tell you, we need all those kind of people, right? Like I have people on my team, they're get it right people. And man, they could make you and me crazy because they will hold on to something and they will massage it. Are you a get it right?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
there
why
he is.
That's why I look that way.
Mikey's like, no, it's got to be perfect. And I got 3 more edits. And me and Joe were like, just get it done. Out.
That's how they started. I'm like, we need to start a podcast. He sends me all this list, like, what's your target audience, blah, blah. I'm like, never mind.
We're hot. And you better
let's just do it.
I know, this is fun. But I, especially in mortgage, I rely on, count on, and appreciate the people that can run in my wake, right? They're running. They're still sprinting, but they're like, okay, T's, dot, I's, cross, da, 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 da. Because I want to just be a get it done person. When I was all by myself, I had to be all 3, which means I was living in kind of my weaknesses or faking it, or you know what I mean? And so like,
I didn't see it, but yeah, go ahead. You were really operating really well. Everything that you're saying right now, I'm trying to recollect, but no, I didn't see it. But
that's because I had to be, right? Like I dropped out of college. I had to be successful, and I'm a winner. So I'm going to figure out how to get along with people, and I'm going to figure out how to get it right. I can be really detail oriented because how did I get straight A's? I like double and triple checked my work. I studied for the small details because that's how you like get an A or get a C. It's just details, right? So I can do that, but it's not my natural tendency. And I think when we have to live too much in our unnatural, it burns us out, right? Because if you're running around all day like, I just got to get along and make people la 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 la. And that's not naturally what compels you. It's fake. It's phony. It's exhausting.
It's taking more energy from you, right?
Huge
than
energy.
Your normal.
Huge energy.
Yeah.
And listen, we all have to play different roles all the time, but that's why when you can get to a place where you build a team and you can go, I am so grateful to have a get it right person, right? And a get it right person's like, I am so grateful to have a get it done person. Because if us get it done wasn't like going, hey, we're going, like things would get stalled, right?
Yeah.
And so we really need each other. And then thank goodness for the get along, because like, I've got a team of people who have been with me for 10 years. Some have been 15 years. And like, I have to start a fun committee. I'm like, fun? Who needs fun? Like, work.
Making money's fun.
Making money's fun. We're doing that. And now I become a lot more, light and fun. And I'm excited about Nashville and dancing on the ceilings, on the roof.
No, you've always conveyed that you're a fun person,
Well, I had to be likable, Joe.
Great ideas. She would send out like a mailer for all her past clients, like free movie. It's kids movies, it's kids movie. And then before the movie starts, here walks in Shayla. Hi guys, thank y'all for coming. All the business last year was from you guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed. And then you go out. I'm like, such a clever move. Like great direct marketing, personal touch, and it's like intentional, and it worked.
Thank you. Well, that was from coaching. That wasn't my idea. Like at a certain point, you start ripping off and duplicating. You're like, great idea. I'll get it done. I'll have someone else coordinate the details to get it right. And then we're doing it,
So a team must be, so your life, okay, how about this? I know we're running out of time here. What's our time now? You still good?
Yeah.
I just want to talk about when you and your family moved to Europe. What was the mindset there? How long were you there for?
3 years.
I felt like you retired during that time, but you really didn't.
No, I didn't.
You were still returning my emails and calling me.
Yeah.
Like she's there, but.
So I needed a shift is what it was. When I started getting coached and I started being in this hyper competitive arena, and then I became a coach, and now everybody's watching me, and I'm really having to lead by example at the highest level. And I was probably in that dance of greedy. Well, if 2 loan officers are good, how about 4? And how about 6? And how about 8? And I opened maybe 6 or 7 offices over 8 years. And we went from just me to me and Lynette, to me, Lynette and Jorge, to, $1 billion team in 8 years. And
amazing.
And my personal team, all of it just went really, really fast. And remember, I was coaching 2 groups of realtors, and I was on the board of directors of the Builder Association, and I was running the sales and marketing committee, and I was putting on an event every month. And I had 2 kids that were, 5 and 8 years old. And man, I just got to a place where I was like, my life is running so fast, and my biggest fear is either to be worthless and, of no value and alone and rejected and 400 pounds in a single wide with holes in my pajamas. Sad.
Okay, so that's a picture.
There's a picture of worthless. Or my other fear is that it's all a blur. That I'm running so fast that I'm not actually enjoying the moments and the people in it. And that I have large chunks of my life that I don't remember. And that's a huge fear of mine, because I can hyper focus to that degree where I am just tunnel vision and there's nothing else going on. I know that about myself. And it got to that place in 2018 where I was getting sick all the time. The body keeps a score. The body will let you know. Constantly had a cold sore on my lip.
Really?
Just run down immune system. I delivered Gemma and literally was locking loans in the hospital. It was like,
I was one of them.
Yeah. So I've just never had slowed down. And so by the end of 2018, and having been sick, I was like, all right, I need a shift, and I don't know what it is, but I had a coach assign me an assignment and said, I want you to go off-site. I want you to take a personal off-site by yourself, and you're going to spend 2 days, and you're not allowed to be on your phone at all. You're not allowed to do anything you would normally do. You need to like disrupt your brain from the patterns and the grooves that you work in. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not cooking, I'm not doing dishes, I'm not texting, I'm not doing any of that stuff. And I got watercolors and I started painting, and I started watching comedy, and I went outside for many walks and just tried to like really decompress the adrenaline and the speed at which I was running around. And then the second day, he gave me a packet of questions to answer. And they were simple questions like, what's brought you joy in the last 30 days? What's brought you joy in the last 7, the last, 3 days, whatever. And again, this was more evidence of like, kind of like the blur, and I was like, and big life questions, like if you had nobody to answer to, and no responsibilities, no obligations, what would make your soul sing? What would you do right now? And there's things like learn to play guitar and you speak Spanish. And then the big one was I would live abroad. I would go move somewhere in the world and I would live abroad. And so it was in that offsite that I was like, you know what? When is ever going to be a good time? Like I've collected all the trophies. I've accomplished way more than I ever thought possible. Like, cause at some point I am now way outrunning what I think is now my God-given talent. I'm like going, wow, this turned out
hyperspeed, huh?
Hyperspeed. And so,
wow.
Other friends of ours had moved to Singapore and were running their business remote from Singapore. And we had this dream early on when we both had kids that said, we want to live somewhere in the world. We want to show our kids the world and how the other people live and how other cultures work. And that was one regret I had dropping out of college. I never got to study abroad. And so I said, all right, I want to do it. And of course, my husband is so rad. Galen, he was like, okay. And so
you need him.
I do. He brings the lightness. He brings the fun. He's my cheerleader. And then he's also my BS meter, right? Because like, I'll be like, this is so like, be dramatic or a victim. And he's like, no. You sound like an addict.
Sit down,
Quiet.
here's your coffee.
I'm like, So we did it. I spent the next 9 months preparing because, I wanted everybody set up in the business well. I wanted to make sure that people were empowered and that, if I wasn't in all the crazy amounts of meetings and things that I was doing, that our business would sustain. I never wanted anybody else to be hurt by me chasing my dreams, and I was very, very concerned about that. Like, what is the perception of the market? If I go do this, how is this going to hurt other people?
Yeah.
And you can't control everything, but of course I sure as hell try.
Yeah.
So
you give it a good shot.
I give it a great shot. So in January of 2020, we moved to Spain. I wanted to be somewhere Spanish speaking. I love Europe. 9-hour time zone turns out is really cool because you have your entire day where everybody in the United States is sleeping. Like literally you wake up in the morning, there's no point checking your phone because it's, 1 a.m. Yeah, so what am I going to do? Fire off text to everybody? So you wake up in the morning and I have that natural inclination, the fear monster's out, got to do stuff. And then I'm like, no, I don't. Chill. Go exercise, have lunch with Galen, go on a walk, go get the kids from school. We both drove the VW van to the forest school together every day and picked up our kids from school. And then
it's normal.
And we rode our bikes to tennis practice and I watched them play tennis. And I literally was able to be super present because everyone's still sleeping back home. Yeah. Not because I'm some superpower, disciplined, like evolved human, only because everyone's sleeping.
You were posting too.
I'm sure.
Your journey.
Yeah. And that was hard for me because then I worry about, are people going to think I'm unrelatable? Are they going to be jealous? Are they going to be scared that we can't perform? But again, all these are growth things. It's all my worthiness stuff of like, you know, I deserve this. I deserve to do this for my family. It's my life. It's one life to live. Like maybe me sharing this will inspire people to choose what their dreams are and what they want to do.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and we did it for 3 years. COVID, of course, hit 2.5 months after we got there.
It did. Yeah,
And
March.
Europe was quite crazy, Spain especially. We were completely locked indoors for 6 weeks.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah. We were on a 2-story apartment. So we had a big deck, fortunately. But kids went nowhere outside. I mean, we went down in our parking garage in the basement like 4 times. We got kicked out every time.
Oh, wow.
No one's there. We're like literally running sprints in the garage, and we got kicked out. So it was intense, but again, we're story making people and machines, right? So this could either be a gift or this could be a tragedy, you know. This could be a nightmare or this could be like a treasure. And Gail and I were like, well, we said we wanted more family time. We got it. So we leaned in, and we didn't drink a drop of alcohol the whole time. I cooked every meal. I'm not one to cook that often. We, got the vacuum cleaner out. We were teaming up and vacuuming the house, and we were doing homeschool with our girls. I mean, all these things that...
You were domesticated.
I was domesticated.
No deals. Just cleaning.
But hey, come 8 o'clock at night, that's 11 a.m. here. So by 5 p.m., it's 8. So at 5 p.m., we're doing dinner, and people here are starting to wake up and get to work.
Oh, wow.
By like 8 o'clock, when the kids are going to bed, my first meetings start.
Oh.
So then I would work from 8 p.m. till 1:30 in the morning. And somehow in Europe, I was able to be a night owl. I'm kind of more of a day person, but because my life was so balanced, I felt so fulfilled, and I felt like, man, I got to fill my cup. I got to fill the marriage cup. I got to be with the kids. I did everything I want to do, and now I'm going to go to work. And then I was fired up to go to work. Like I felt lucky that I had that outlet, you know, and this thing that I'm so passionate about.
I love it. The work is an outlet.
It is an outlet.
Yeah. That's amazing. Okay. Oh, I'm going to have some fun now. Hi, guys. How are we on the underwriting there?
Oh, dude. Well, then you got to remember what happened. It was COVID. So rates dropped down to
1.9,
3%, 2.5%. So we at one point had 1,500 loans in our pipeline, 1,500 active loans. And I mean, literally,
wow. We
were like, okay, how many weeks in a row? Because our underwriters work 7 days a week. What's their capacity? We were trying like hell to have our people not completely break down because they were working so much and so much overtime. And we're, dealing with like, how long do you lock files, and what is the capacity planning, and how do we not let things expire? So you have to start all the way over. And how do you keep customers happy and sitting still when you just have this massive, so anyway, the business like quadrupled. Well, it went up about 60 to 90% those 2 years.
Golly.
Yeah. And I got to work less hours and into the middle of the night and love my life. So it was
correct.
It was epic. It was epic.
It was God's design for you.
It was
God's design for you. Well, family and motherhood and legacy. You're raising 2 daughters while sustaining a high-level career. How has motherhood reshaped your priorities and boundaries?
Thank you for that question. Motherhood has kind of been one of the least natural things that I've done in certain ways. Like, I remember when I gave birth to the girls, and it was just like they became my left arm right away. Like I already like threw them in the car seat and went to the office. Like they came with me. Like it was just like as if I'd always have kids, you know? It was like all of a sudden pregnant, now I got kids and I'm rolling them around. But as they got older and they could talk and go to school, and we started, really having struggle and strife of, things being hard and, all the things that kids start going through. And it's so emotional. And because my self-worth has been really tied to my achievement. I think like what nobody has ever pondered with me or talked with me about is like this whole idea about being a good mom. And I think that's really screwed me up because it's like, what is good?
Correct.
What is being a good mom? And
Who determines it too?
yeah, who determines that? What does society say? What is the measuring stick? You know, all of those things, right? And is it, if my kids are well adjusted and emotionally stable and healthy and getting good grades, then I'm a good mom? Is that what determines it? Is it, you know, and so it's, I think as kids grow and start to struggle and they're, you know, go through different things, it's really easy to look in the mirror and go, well, I'm failing, you know, because it's this very ego-driven kind of thing, right?
Correct.
So then I go back to my thoughts on confidence. And if confidence comes from capability and self-trust, like I never had the goal of being a confident mom. I wish I did, because then I could have used some models and frameworks to say, okay, confidence comes from capability. Like, what does it mean to be a capable mother? Right?
Yeah.
And then the other day I literally did this exercise because I've had to work through a lot of forgiveness with myself. I mean, being a hyper-focused, driven businesswoman who's built $1 billion business and is focused on getting rich, there's been shortfalls and half-assing it as being a mom many times. And, you know, I think all moms feel this way, but there's this extra weight I've put on myself, right?
Yeah.
So a capable mom, like what makes you capable to be mom? Is it they stay alive? Sweet. A+. I'm like, they're alive, you know?
They're eating.
Is it, yeah. Is it that their health needs are taken care of? Is it they're nurtured emotionally? Is it they're held to a sleep schedule? Is it their academic needs, their social needs? You know, like I never sat down and said, okay, if my confidence as a mom comes from capability, what do I need to be capable in? Because if you laid out, this is the stuff you need to learn or focus on, then I could go and master those things, right?
You want to be specific.
Well, I'm an achiever. So how do I achieve motherhood, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that like if I could talk to young women that are becoming moms or that are a couple years in, I would really work hard to define your values and work really hard to decide if you're going to use labels like, I want to be a good mom. And then no matter what label you decide to use with yourself, you better define it.
Yeah.
So that it's your definition and it's your game you're playing rather than what does society think right now that moms should be doing? And this is, talk about social media. Like, oh no, moms should be baking sourdough bread. Moms should be packing their lunches in these beautiful little things. Or moms are at every school party. Or moms are making homemade baby food. Or, I mean, like that doesn't mean you're a good mom or anything. Does that make sense? Like
it does, like totally.
You have to have a vision for what you want it to be like. And so for me, what's been really helpful is thinking about the relationship I want to have with my daughters. You know, like that over everything. And when I'm in moments of frustration, like brush your teeth, you know, I'm choosing brush teeth over relationship right now because I'm losing my cool. And I have to fight with being grumpy mommy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's just work and then I'm blaming it on work. I think it's like my expectations, like that I come in with like, okay, we're gonna go to bed on time tonight. And then I don't dance and I don't flow and I miss the moments to giggle or to tickle or to listen or to do all those things. So I'm really intentionally with my teenage daughters working on connection.
I think you're doing a great job, Shay.
Thank you. I am doing a great job.
I think so. You know, they said love is spelled Time. You know, spending time with them. But our business is very demanding, especially with yours now. You're on that professional level. But it gives you freedom. You have the freedom to choose to be with them when they need you. Yeah. And I think that's what makes a great parent, is when our children needs us, when they need us, we're there.
Yep.
We might not always be there, but when they need us like that, I need to talk to you.
We're there.
Those moments, right? You're like, okay, I'm here. What is it?
I had one of those moments today because Gwen just finished up volleyball and they were having their year-end like or banquet or pizza or something like that. And it's 6th grade volleyball. And it was just thrown on the calendar. And I literally thought it's a pizza party. And I'd already had a work day booked, right? And so as she was leaving today, I was like, hey, Gwen, I'm not going to be able to come to the volleyball party. And I could just see her face kind of barely fall. Just a little bit like, it wasn't like clear. But I'm like, wait a minute. Would it mean a lot to you if I came? Do you want me to come? And she's like, whatever, And I was like, I think you want me to come. And I said, you know what? I'll rearrange my day. And I did. I rearranged. Of course, I'm driving down the freeway on a Teams call on video.
I need you to move this meeting.
But I was there.
Why filming an Instagram show?
Yeah, I was there. And we played parents against students volleyball. It was so fun.
Good for you.
And if I wasn't tuned in to having their backs and
that facial expression.
Yeah, then I would have missed it.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you. There was a book that I just listened to part of, and it's called Mother Hunger. And Mother Hunger is about the daughter wound with the mother. And I was like, So, and I guess we all have wounds in which ways we weren't loved enough or paid attention to enough or whatever. But it says in that book that there's 3 things that a mother is to provide, and that is nurturance, protection, and guidance. And when I first read this book, it was like, oh, well, that's freaking helpful. How, like, where was this when I needed it, right?
I'm like 13 years behind.
I know. And it was really helpful for me because I was able to look at all 3 and say, honestly, I don't think I've done any of the 3 consistently or super well. I'm not super nurturing by nature. That's not natural for me. I wasn't nurtured. I grew up with all boys. Mm-hmm. I don't nurture myself. It's unnatural for me.
Yeah.
Of course, I can do it sometimes. There's sometimes you do it, but not innately. The other one is protection. I didn't really feel like I was protected a whole lot. I mean, my parents kept me safe, but I was thrown into the deep end of the pool all the time. Keep up with the boys. We're going down that mogul run. We're jumping off that cliff. We're like, whatever. And so I think I felt scared a lot and felt very exposed and like having to call on courage to like survive, which is great. It built a great muscle inside of me that I was like, okay, this is scary and I'm doing it anyway. And oh, wait, look, I'm capable, right? So I'm not saying these things are bad. I'm so grateful that I have the parents I had and they raised me the way they did. But I'm still trying to weave in skills that I didn't get.
Correct.
And my mom didn't get it either. Her mom died young. She didn't get any of those things, so she didn't give them to me. So now it's like, how do I?
You can't give what you don't have, right?
Or I've never experienced. I've never thought of it. So now I'm intentionally nurturing.
Good.
And I'm intentionally protecting. And that, for my younger daughter, lately has completely changed our relationship where I'm like, I have your back. Like, I'm on your team. I will go in there and knock anyone out if I have to.
Correct.
I will show up for you, and I've had to like, where's times she think I would push her through things, I've had to be like, nope, I'm trusting your call. I have your back. And that protection, that mama bear for her has been good, but that's not my natural way. I've been shoving my kids in the deep end of the pool.
Like you did. Just
get in there. Get in there. Work for me. Should work for you too.
The Shayla energy. Come on, you gotta have go. Just do it. No, but that's good.
Yeah.
But you shared this with me last year. You can't do perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Don't focus on perfection. And if you blew the 3 moves, you still got 2 left, right? If you have 5.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to share with my children is there was one year where my wife and I really pushed for us to go to Disney.
Yeah.
And it was expensive because it was short sale era, $450 commission on a 1 year and a half deal. A Fremont Drive. Anyway, so we made it happen. So Thanksgiving came, and I said, that was in the summer, and I asked the children, what was the best time of your life this year? What was the best moment with dad and mom? And both of them did not say Disney. Oh. Well, my son said, I love it when you were playing with me outside and we were riding my bike and then I fell and stuff like that. And my daughter was like, oh, I love it when you just play tea time with me.
Yeah.
And I looked at my wife, I'm like, we could have just done that and saved that money. Because we were expecting the Disney. So it's just.
Well, in all this deep work that I've been doing lately, is my latest iteration of growth is trying to figure out what I most yearn for. What is it that I really want? Because I have wanted to know, where does this drive come from? Like, is this like a huge void, a hole, some deep wound that I'm trying to solve or heal? Or is this just a natural ball of energy, or what is it? But what is it that I'm yearning for? Like, what do I really, really want most in life? And what it is to be wanted. And I wanted to be chosen, to be wanted, and to be cherished, which I think is like the highest form of love. And I think ultimately that's what we all want. We all want love, and we want divine love, and we just want to be basking in it, and that safety of boundlessness and total acceptance and all those things, right? So what I realized, though, is like cherishment is not something that I can place on human beings, really. Because like if my dad would have cherished me the way I could imagine I would want to have been cherished, it would have meant that he would have focused on nothing else but me. And he would have walked me around and pranced me around and introduced me to everybody and looked at me with these adoring eyes and just thought, this is my girl. And, this is like, you could have this fantasy of like, I'd wanted to feel that. And instead, I had two parents that were 21 and building a business and trying to build a life and raise our family status and stability and security. And so I was just dragged along and thrown in the deep end of the pool.
By the way, Shay, go get your lunch.
Keep up with the boys. Keep up. And so I have really started realizing that the only way I can truly feel that way is that my connection with God and the Creator and the divine, and just changing those beliefs of I'm a disappointment to I am a delight. And like, I do mirror work. I look in the mirror, I look in my own eyes, and I imagine like I'm looking at God in my own eyes, and I really feel that connection. Like, there's actual safety there. And it's so funny, before I started doing this kind of work, I couldn't even like really hold my own eye gaze. Like, I don't know, I'm like looking at my lip, or I'm looking at like the wrinkle on my chin, or I'm looking at, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I'm not actually staring into my own eyes. And so I've been really kind of reprogramming myself to say, like, what I truly yearn for is this sense to be loved wholly and completely for who I am. And because that's what I want, I now have taken that into my life's vision, because I know that's probably, if I want it, other people want that too. They just may not say it. They might not have it in the words. They might not have done this conscious, work.
Exercise,
yeah. And so I've sought it my whole life, and I've sought it through getting attention. I've sought it through affection, and I've sought it through acceptance. Like, notice me, tell me how good I am, tell me how great this is. And that will exhaust a person, because it's all external validation versus this inner peace and inner validation and higher power. And so, anyway, with other human beings, with my daughters, I just try to recenter myself every day and just be like, well, what do I really want? How do I let go of the worry? How do I let go of the whatever, and like come back to center, and then can I give myself affection, attention, and acceptance? And then can I, from this place of wholeness, can I then give it to others? You know?
That's amazing, Shay.
That's all I figured out. By 45, you've gotten everything out of me. That's it.
This is so full of, like, I've been wanting to know what makes Shayla tick. You know, why do you keep going the way you're going? And it's like remarkable. It's a remarkable level.
Thank you.
And you're just talking to me right now. You're just a human being, just like me, with all these things.
Imagine that.
But you're just very dynamic, though. You're very dynamic. You shared so much tonight in this episode, and I just have one more for the benefit of the listeners here. If someone listens to this episode and remembers one thing from your story, what do you hope it is?
To be courageous and to explore where you're running into frustration and insecurity, and then start really pulling that apart. Because if we're living in frustration and insecurity, it just means we're living out of alignment from the truth. Because like when I really just align to the basic truth that all I want is to be loved and loved, then like everything else calms down. But even beyond that, I think sometimes we haven't redefined a vision. So we're running around with kind of our eyes closed. And so if I get frustrated, it's often because I'm like, what do I really want? You know? And I have to ask the question over and over again, what do I really want? What do I want? What do I want? What does success mean to me? What does it look like? What would make me feel good? What would I be proud of? What would impress me with me? Not what would impress the world. Who do I've got to keep happy? Who am I going to disappoint? Who am I going to piss off? That's old thinking. It's more of this inward. Keep going inward, Shayla. Go deeper. You know the answer. Trust yourself. It's in there. It's in there. It's in there. And then when it's just like, what do I really want in this next week or day or chapter or whatever? I think once you see it, then you know the courageous action to take.
It's amazing. You know, with the many things that you've achieved, the one thing that has been resonating to me is that there's a lot of humility in you.
Thank you.
Despite the fact that you have achieved so many things, you're always reassessing, asking the questions, asking the hard questions, learning, mother hunger. You're like, right? You're just like, what else? What else? Where else can I improve? I mean, just that question alone takes a lot of humility, because an egotistic person will just say, I'm good. There's nothing in me to improve.
Well, it can, self-improvement and personal growth can become obsessive, as if like, I've got to find the answer. And I've definitely been a seeker. Seek. Like, I want to know, which can further re-cement a worthiness issue of like, or a perfectionism issue.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to keep digging because I've got to be this perfect human. And so, you know, but it's in me. It's deep. Like it's a yearning. There's a seeking and a yearning. What I'm really trying to focus on for myself is to think about the difference between doing and being. Because like that's presence is being. And in America, we live in a place that says, hey, what are you doing? What have you been doing? What do you do? And if our whole life is defined by the doing, where's the essence of who we are? And the essence of who we are is in our being. And it is hard for me. It's unnatural. I don't want to say hard, because actually once I'm aware of it, boom, you can click right in. But it's unnatural for me to just be. You know? And so as much as I'm voracious, and I mean, we didn't talk about 10,000 things that I'm into. Like, I've studied the hell out of Enneagram and human design and reinvention and shadow work and all this stuff that, I mean, this is why I'm a coach. I have so much stuff I want to give.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of stoicism in your
Yeah.
principles there too.
I like wisdom. I like contemplation. I like progress. I like learning. I'm alive with it all. But at the same time, it can make you like crazy, like overanalyze things, go dig apart the past again. You know what I'm saying? It's like the people with the most peace in the room, the contentedness, the continuous connection to God, because they keep it real simple. Like those people, to me, I'm like, oh, yeah.
But are you like Kobe? Because I saw a segment of an interview. They said he never gets tired of the basics. Like there was one time this trainer was watching Kobe train, and for 3 hours out of his 4 hours of workout, Kobe was just doing the basics. Yeah. And then he went and asked Kobe, like, dude, you were like just doing the basics. And he goes, you can never get tired of the basics.
I get bored easily. So I wish, again, I'm telling you, I really admire the people who pick a lane and stay in that lane the whole time, you know, and they can keep it simple and their perspective is wide and they don't get ruffled that much. I'm not that, man. I am, which is why I feel so capable and worthy of coaching people, is because I'm like, oh man, I was gripped by anxiety completely today. I was choosing work over family today. I probably yelled at one of the kids today. Like, I mean, all of it's happening for me in real time. I have high highs, low lows, lots of energy, lots of desire. I'm balancing it all. But I'm just not willing to be apathetic or to settle or to let fear get in. I'm at least looking at it and going, oh yeah, that's worthiness stuff for me. But I'm like, right now I took over the job of CFO for my household. I've had this job the entire time, but I quit the job for like 6 years. I seriously was like, I don't have the logins to any of our credit cards, bank statements, nothing. My mom is my bookkeeper and controller, so fortunately I have someone I trust and my bills get paid. But like otherwise I was like, I'm so burnt. I have so low capacity. I'm going to put the blinders on. I'm not going to focus on it. And fine. But now I'm 45. I got a little more space. My kid's a little older, and I'm like, it's time to pull that out of the rut, and get in the seat of the car and put my hands on the steering wheel. And Shayla, you've built something fantastic for your family, but you need to be a steward of the opportunity, the wealth that we've created, and what is this going to mean in 30 years from today? And like, put your hands on the wheel. Amazing. Seriously. And guess what's coming up for me? Insecurity, worthiness, resistance. It's boring. I have to look at budgets. I got to look at, you know what I mean? It sucks.
But it's you who's in the wheel now, so it's going to be great improvement. It's going to break through ceilings again.
You're damn right.
Yeah, you're going to be a financial coach, including with this whole thing.
Oh my gosh. I know. Well, the funny thing is that I really don't care about money. That's what I've learned. Like, I am not driven by saying, I got to get to this number. I was driven by being seen and special, which was like, okay, well then make a lot of money and you'll be special and seen and respected, right? Close a lot of loans, be top of the class. That's what drove me. It was never about, I need the dollars. Now I wanted lifestyle that the dollars gave me, right? Like, we wanted a house in Lake Tahoe. Galen's from Tahoe. I want to go boating. There's certain like lifestyle expectations I wanted for myself.
Yeah.
That cost money.
Correct.
Purely, right? But like beyond that, it does not turn me on at all, And so I'm like, ugh, it just doesn't.
You never came. That's what all the successful people say. They never went for the money. If you're going for the money, you're not going to get it.
Yeah. Well, I guess I wanted the status.
You got it. And you're elevating it to the next. You've elevated it.
And the fame. I'm now been on the Joe Salcido Minority Report. I am famous.
Oh, bro.
I've made it.
You have broken we've been in a rut. My guests have been canceling and we've just been on a pause.
Oh.
So I've been like, maybe Shayla. That's why I was nervous today.
Mikey's going to make 32 reels so that when you go on a dry spell, you can just keep reusing them.
That's right. Well, I'm going to end it with this last one. Okay, so I know because you're quick. My rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Coffee or tea on a long, lone day? A long, lone day. Coffee or tea?
Mushroom coffee.
Mushroom? Oh. Okay. Rise?
Yes.
That one? Okay. Early mornings or late nights? Are you an early morning or a late night person?
Neither.
In Spain, you were a night owl. Over
Yeah.
here, you were. Yeah. One habit every new loan officer must build early.
To take a really solid, thorough loan application.
Oh, they're not doing that.
No,
New
man.
one? They skip boxes, huh?
No, it's not just boxes. It's like taking a noodle and throwing it against the wall. You know, like getting the basics and thinking you got it. But like, no, if you want it to be a smooth process for people, you got to go deep at first. You got to really go deep and be really, really thorough. And then you can go really, really fast after that. People want to make it easy on people. And so they're like, just get the basics so that they can keep moving along. And then now you just run into constant problems.
Yeah. That's why I don't like new loan officers. I want the experts.
Yeah.
Most underrated skill in the mortgage business?
Most
underrated.
If I'm a real estate agent, I want a loan officer who's a great salesperson. Not because they're pitching something, but because a great salesperson influences people toward their goal and keeps them on track for that. So as fear comes up, as indecision, as doubt, as the news, as Aunt Betty, as their dad, all those things come into play and get people frozen in fear and indecision. A great salesperson is looking for those cues all the time. They're asking really good questions. They are educating in a way that is actually useful to the customer. They are not just over talking and presenting to present. They are customizing. They are nurturing. They are
personable,
but they're being effective, right? Like anyone can have an hour meeting, but was this hour meeting the thing that you needed to get you to the next level and the next step and to create movement, to create urgency?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
a lot of people do not have, like, they might be likable, but do they know how to spot fear? Do they know how to overcome objections? Do they know how to surface that stuff and really handle it? Do they know how to promote? Do they know how to edify? A lot of people don't.
Wow. Golly.
And that better come with a good technician. I like both.
Yeah.
So like somebody who really knows loans, who really knows guidelines and knows how to do it, plus they've got the sales skills, like, then knockout.
Right.
Because then you don't have problems later and your clients move and they move more rapidly and it's on time, smooth, and wow.
And the rapport was built and trust was there.
Yeah.
And then, I like it. Biggest myth about top producers. What's the biggest myth about you?
About top producers, that they have it all figured out and they're really organized and systematic. Most top producing people are very disorganized, very chaotic, and often very insecure and highly anxious.
That's true.
It's true.
Education or speed? Which matters more long term? Education or their speed?
You're talking about for loan officers?
Yeah, loan officers.
With a client, education. Take the time it takes to move them. So people are like on and off the phone and checking boxes and, putting a name on a list. That is not being effective. It might be efficient, but I don't know about you. I like being efficient. I time myself. I'm competitive. Like, how long did that, loan app take?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm not getting off the phone until I've moved the needle to the next step.
Right.
You know, that's being effective in everything that you do rather than just, you know, checking boxes.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. One thing people overcomplicate in business.
Thinking they've got to be good at everything. The number one thing is to be a rainmaker. It's to get your phone to ring. And the only way you do that is you don't keep score, but you have a daily contact with people and a certain number of people. You know your daily metrics. It's a standard. You call X number of people, you see X number of people. And you just know that if I am a person of service and I'm out solving people's problems and I do it to X degree of numbers, it's a numbers game, the business will come. So it's just the inconsistency of that. It's like most everybody, if they've got a problem, which by the way, every business has a problem, it's a sales problem. They don't have enough leads. They don't have the right kind of leads. They're focused over here on some checklist or some pretty branding on social media or some other crap. But when it's like, no, you've got to have relationships and you got to get the phone to ring and you got to solve problems, then you can work on the other issues.
I like it. That's so true.
It's true. It's true.
Would you rather be on a coaching call or a quiet thinking time?
When do I get quiet thinking time? You know, I've set up my work schedule now where I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the office, and I'm packed. And I've always been packed. If I'm in the office, if it's like I'm going to be busy, I'm going to make stuff happen. On Mondays, I'm now at home and I'm working more on our family life. I'm
Great.
coordinating trips, schedules, kids, and being the CFO of our household. Fridays are supposed to be more of a play day for me because I've never given myself time freedom. I've given myself all the other freedoms, but I hadn't felt I deserved the time yet for some reason. And so I just never took time to rest or play or do those things. So now I'm working on that, and it's on those days where I get to just be quiet. You know, I could do all the fun things that I like to do, but I also get my creativity out. You know.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
it's cool.
Good job.
Yeah.
Europe pace or American pace?
Europe.
Europe?
Yes.
Why? They're just chill?
I want to be. Galen says there's two types of Shaylas. There's Shay Z and Bumblebee. And Shay Z, you've seen this whole time. I mean, intense, focused, get it done. Bumblebee is the more feminine, soft, playful, not in a rush, sensing wonder,
In
the moment, you know, like all of those things. And I think just certain environments will pull you to certain things, right? And America is very much about external validation. Who are you? What have you done lately? What are you up to? What are you building? What's next? What's new? And because I'm so sensitive to that conditioning and I'm competitive, it can cause me to like jump right into adrenaline and go do. And like, it's like, I don't need to do that, but it sweeps me away at times.
Yeah.
So I have to be highly conscious and well rested to keep myself in check in this culture.
Yeah.
And yet in Europe, I don't have to put all those boundaries and hardcore practices. Like it's, you know, in the US, you're like, I got to do a miracle morning and I got to meditate and I got to do all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, just to survive this American pace. It's awful.
What do you think if your business was in Europe? You think you'd be still different?
Dude, I don't.
Because your business was here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just had the best of both worlds. I got to just be Shayla and be mom Shayla there.
Yeah.
And do zero business there.
It's amazing.
And then I got to have this double life.
1,500 loans.
It's like being Superwoman. I got to like put on my cape at night and like do that. And then in the morning I was like just a normal, chill mom that was at school every day. And
That's
it's like
amazing.
Yeah, it was really
Good
cool.
job on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Not everybody can do that. And I'm glad it paid off.
I will tell you, like, living abroad is so much cheaper as well. Like, we lived in a beautiful community in southern Spain, and in the same community, you could have an apartment on the port, so like a water view apartment for $800 a month, or you could be right down the street for $6,000 a month. And we were all in the same spot, and everybody was enjoying the same beach and the same food. And it just, I really like that. It's hard for me to watch struggle and to watch a lack of opportunity. You know, I think that's one of the reasons I'm so driven to coach is like, okay, let's figure you out. What are your strengths? What are you good at? What are your desires? What do you want to do?
You really want to help them.
Let's get there, because that sense of like being sad or hopeless scares me, you know. And I feel like it's harder here. The wealth divide is harder. It's wider. It's the real. It's really real, you know. But it's still America, where you can pull yourself up tomorrow at the age of 75 and get going. Or 40 and get going. I mean, seriously, all you have to, and all the information, all the YouTube videos, all the podcasts, all the books, it's all there for you. It's often a decision, but
it still has the infrastructure to bring somebody from the bottom up.
Yes.
Faster than
in Europe, that does not happen.
Right. Right.
Like you go to high school, and then you go to specialize in high school. You already pick what your major is. Like they only go to high school till they're 16. And then you go do your A-levels, and your A-levels are already focused in chemistry or engineering or teaching or whatever. And then you're basically stuck in that track forever. That's it.
Right,
you decide at 16 what you're going to do, and then that's what you do. In America, you can change your mind like you change your underwear, and you can reinvent yourself 10,000 times. And it's celebrated here for you to be unique and big, larger than life, and go for it.
Right.
And so, you know, as much as I say like America's hard and it's a lot of pressure and it's expensive and blah, 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 like it is limitless. So if you're going to be in this culture, you better play the game and figure out what you want and go create it.
Correct. Opportunities here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. One word you want people to associate with your legacy.
Authentic.
Love it. I agree. And at this chapter of your life, what are you most grateful for? You achieved. You got all the trophies, like you said.
Yeah, my parents and my husband, and my girls. I mean, we've all been on this journey together. Like I started really taking off in my career the month Gemma was born, 2011. So we've been on a ride for 15 years. And you know, I have my whole family here, and my brothers and sister, they're all in the industry to some degree. My mom and dad are around. Like I'm really charmed. I'm really blessed in that way.
Great.
Yeah.
Shay, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
The busy schedule that you have, and this is really an honor for me. Thank you for doing it.
I love it. It makes me want to do like 2-hour podcasts in person. It's so fun.
Are we on 2 hours? Okay.
Okay, we're out of here.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Shay. I believe the right person that has hired you or to listen to you, to coach them, if they will just do everything that you tell them, you know. But that's the hard part, though. When I would listen to your class, I would be there. I would pick and choose on which ones I think could work for my personality, right? And I think that's what you say too.
Yes,
Yeah.
and me too. I mean, you think that I was a totally compliant student? Yeah, right.
It's like, I don't know if I could do that, but this one I can.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah. But thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
And congratulations to your success. And I'm a fan. I'm looking forward to what the next mountain you're going to be climbing.
Or just being. If I might just be sitting in a prayer on the mountain.
But that could be your being, right? The person that just keeps moving and just keeps going up, right? Amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, folks, thank you for indulging with us, with our great guest here, Shayla Gifford. I hope and pray that everybody has learned here that money is not everything. Money wasn't even the thing. But money does get heard about. But success isn't just how far you go. Success at times is relative to the person. And for Shayla, it was being seen and accomplishing it, trying to challenge herself. and she was intentional. And I think that's where we need to be focused on, is to ask the hard questions. What makes me happy? What makes me satisfied? And just keep asking the right questions. And then just step up to the plate. And if it's a challenging one, be courageous. Thanks, Shay.
Thanks, Joe.
God bless you guys. Have a good night until I see you in the next episode.